And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Fantastic program today. Call with your car questions at 888 Car Clinic. Folks, this is National Teen Driver Safety Week. If you are one, a teen that is, or have one as a parent, listen, because this one's for you, and it's about vehicle crashes, which are the leading cause of deaths for 15 to 19-year-olds in the U.S. With us on the hotline now is Tricia Morrow, General Motors Global Safety Strategy Engineer, to provide us with information that you just couldn't get anywhere else. Tricia, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I would like for you at this time to get right to it. Share with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers a little more about those statistics for teen drivers. How often do they get into accidents?
Well, as you mentioned, car crashes are the number one cause of death for teens, and this statistic is absolutely astounding. Teens are more likely to get into a crash than any other age group, and their fatal car rate, the fatality car rate per mile driven, is 3 times higher for teens than more mature drivers. So it is absolutely critical that we have these discussions around safe driving practices and a GM technology called Teen Driver that helps encourage safe driving practices.
I did not realize that we had a 300% increase with regard to traffic deaths that are involved, and include teens. So that really brings into focus the importance of your time on Car Clinic today. So for our teens who are listening and for their parents, what are some of the factors that are involved in teen driving accidents?
I think the primary factor in teen driving crashes is going to be overall inexperience. And I want to put the caveat out there. It doesn't mean that teens are bad drivers. It just means they haven't logged as many hours on the road as some of the more mature drivers. So what our Teen Driver feature does is it really helps restrict some risky behaviors that we see, not only with teens but also with adults, but this is built into our Teen Driver feature, which address the issues such as wearing your seatbelt, speeding, and as I said, that lack of experience, which we know can lead to a crash.
And to that end, we've all been a teen at one time or other, and for me, it was a question of having to go through an accident. Fortunately for me, I was okay, and I didn't injure anyone else. But once you've gone through something, you realize just how off base. And for me, it was even a dumb thing to do because I was overdriving my automobile. That's a big automobile. It's a lot of weight. You've got rainy roads. There's a lot of reasons. So it's really important, folks, to tune in and to hear what Tricia is sharing with us. Tricia Morrow is the General Manager, General Motors Global Safety Engineer. So, Tricia, tell us more about the technology that's helping keep kids safer these days.
Well, the technology that we're talking about today is Teen Driver. Teen Driver is activated in your vehicle by activating a specific key. So the parent could be driving the vehicle with normal operation, and then when that teen uses that specially activated key, Teen Driver is active just for the teen. Teen Driver feature addresses things such as seatbelt use. We know that wearing your seatbelt, whether you're a teen or anyone, is the number one thing you can do to protect yourself in a crash. So the Teen Driver feature mutes the radio if the driver or detected passenger are not wearing their seatbelt. So if someone in the front seat is unbuckled, you won't be able to hear the radio. You won't be able to use the radio. So it really helps encourage seatbelt use. We also know that you're 14 times more likely to get into a crash if you're speeding. So Teen Driver activates maximum speed limits on the vehicle, speed warnings that parents have set the mile per hour on when their teen should get a speed warning to really help control their speed. And also addressing the issue of general inexperience. The Teen Driver feature defaults on all available active safety features in the vehicle. Active safety features are designed to help reduce crash speeds or help avoid a crash all together. So very important when we're talking about drivers who maybe don't have as much experience. You can imagine lane departure warning, helping the teen know when they've departed from their lane, perhaps inadvertently. Forward collision alert, maybe letting them know that they're coming upon the vehicle in front of them too quickly. Really great features to help kids and teens learn to be better drivers. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the in-vehicle report card, which I just think is just such a fabulous tool. You know, we grew up watching our kids from the time we watched them sleep when they were infants as they grow older. And this in-vehicle report card is a way to see how your teen was driving when you weren't with them. So your teen goes out and drives, they come back, you're able to access this in-vehicle report card that gives you information such as distance driven, maximum speed reached, any wide open throttle events, how many times their active safety features engaged. So then it really equips the parent or caregiver with knowledge to talk to their teen about how they drove and how they might improve their driving going forward. It also gives the teen a great tool to say, hey, Mom, look, I am a good driver. I was, my active safety features didn't, engage once. So it works both ways. I think it's a really great aspect of the teen driver technology.
Well, no question about it. And folks, just for me to share with you, the teen driver technology that Tricia just explained is also a technology that has been used in Formula One race cars so they can maximize the driver and maximize or minimize the time it takes to get around the track. So having that information available is a valuable tool in all sorts and all walks of life, but specifically from a teen standpoint, I think it's outstanding. I just can imagine there's a tremendous amount of research by General Motors that went into the building of that function and that program.
Absolutely. Looking at the statistics, as we said, those astounding statistics, the number one cause of death of teens was obviously our encouragement to start designing this feature. But we absolutely put a lot of hours in customer research, marketing clinics to make sure that this feature was something that would be usable and welcomed by our customers.
Let's shift gears, Tricia. One last question. Almost one last question. I always have another one to follow, but share with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers how parents can help their teens be safer.
Well, safe driving starts at home. First and foremost, spend time with your teen when they drive. Help them learn. But it's also really important to set a good example. Our children have been watching us, for better or worse, since they were little and mimicking our behavior. So it's really paramount that we set a good example in our vehicles by following the rules of the road, observing speed limits, putting our cell phones down, and always wearing our seatbelts.
So the very program that General Motors has created for teens to help reduce the number of deaths with teens is automatically going to help the parents, because they too then realize perhaps what they're doing that mirrors maybe what their kid's doing, or vice versa. That's a great lesson. It's a great example. Would you give us a website so that our Car Clinic listeners and viewers can go for more information?
Absolutely. We encourage you to visit Chevrolet.com for more information on Teen Driver and all the active safety features that we offer.
Terrific. And one final question. When will this technology be on new GM cars?
This technology is already available. It was debuted on the 2016 Chevrolet Malibu and is currently available on the 2017 Camaro, Colorado, Cruze, Bolt, Malibu, Silverado, Suburban, Tahoe, and Volt, as well as on many other GM brands.
Got it. Tricia Morrow, General Motors Global Safety Engineer. Tricia, thank you so much for joining us on Bobby Likis Car Clinic today.
Thank you for having me.